What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Payne. Welcome back to another Tower of God New World video. Alright guys, a few things to clear up. Last video I dropped about the roadblock or the paywall for free-to-play. Just so everyone's aware, I've got some funny comments about not being new to the gacha scene. I've covered gachas for over 10 years. I've played gachas for even longer. So all I was doing there was just showing you guys where you get stalled as a free-to-play, and all you need is patience or pay. That's all it was. Nothing deep about that. So I just wanted to clear that up real quick. But thank you for those who gave some guidance. I appreciate it, of course. But no worries. I've gotten a lot further. I've got 8-1 now with my free-to-play account. And this time what I want to do real quick is talk about two things. Number one, I want to talk about the best units in each of the elemental factions, why you want to go for them. Number two, we're going to do a quick summon. I did get a new SSR Plus today with the free summon that Netmarble gave. And I have to admit, I know Netmarble has a bad reputation. Like, I covered Marvel Revolution, Future Revolution. It was an incredible game when it came out, but they completely destroyed it. And I actually stopped covering it after the first patch, where they literally took away a lot of the features that made it more free-to-play friendly. So I understand their people's gripe and discrepancies with Netmarble, but I have to admit, with this game so far to this point, it's been very generous. We're talking about access to suspendiums to summon and to have diamonds. Talking about summoning tickets, they've been giving them away like hotcakes. So I have to admit, it has not been that bad at all. Now, I know eventually, like every gacha game, like every idle game, things will eventually get a little more stale, and that's very normal, right? They're meant to be a routine thing that you do every day. You log in, you collect, you advance a little bit, you log off, etc., right? So I have to admit, Netmarble's been very, very generous so far. So that's a good sign. Now, what I want to do going right now is, as a free-to-play player, is go over the best units for each single faction, so element, and then talk to you guys about the importance of SRs and why you actually want to put a little bit of focus on them for the time being, especially if you're brand new. So let's jump into that first. All right, so here you go. This is the newest unit that I got. You guys can see here, he is an SSR Plus. So Data is a hard, and I'm going to be using him very soon. The only problem is I need to get another. I'm trying to build a green team, right? So elemental green team, and he'll be the key to that piece. But right now with all my light team, he just doesn't fit that well. Hats is also duped 3 times. So let's talk about that first real quick. Dupes versus SSR pluses. Which ones are better? It all depends on the unit, right? Like, there's no dupes here that's ever going to replace Evan or Evan Kale. Like, it's just not going to happen. Data, the thing with him is Data as a hard is one of those units that are melee based. He has immunities which make him immortal every time he changes his form or stance with different weapons, which is good because he can be a stall tank. The problem with him is he's just not ready for me to be used in a light team, because I use a heavy light team with one fire mage right here, and that's it, right? But if I start taking away more light units, then it becomes unevenly balanced. So SSRs versus SSR Plus, if you have enough dupes in the right faction, SSR with dupes is better than an SSR Plus, depending on the SSR Plus, obviously, right? So in this case, Hats has 3 dupes. I've got a lot of copies of him, obviously, not a lot, but enough. And he's going to be still taking place for Zahard. Now, he is really, really squishy, but when he can survive, he does knock things out the park, and he does a lot of damage. So right there. So, but I digress. Let's talk about the code. Let's go to the codex and talk about the best units. So we'll start off with SSR pluses, and then we'll work our way down. Okay. So first off, in the light faction, SSR plus, the best SSR plus, and the only SSR plus in the light faction is Evan. Hands down, still to me the most important unit in the game, for survivability sakes, for keeping you up, providing you energy, and giving you immortality. So still the best unit there. Best tank right now in the game is easy Karaka. Amazing damage also. If you can stall long enough to do his AoE, you've pretty much destroyed everything in your path. Steel Armor Karaka is the best tank in the game for sure as an SSR plus. So I'd go 1, 2 right here. So Evan Kale is probably the best DPS in the game. I've done a showcase on her. If you haven't checked it out, go ahead and do so. You'll see what she's all about. But she's probably the second best SSR plus. Then I'd probably say Karaka third, and then I'll probably say her next. Right, immortality, DPS, can tank as an assassin. Great unit. Overall, has massive damage. And if you get her, she like this. That team alone that I just mentioned, the 4 of those units will run your team no matter what element you have. They're amazing units to have. So the other 2 though here, right here, right? The older version and that is a hard. I'd say they're a little more niche. So my opinion, not quite as good as the three I just mentioned. Sorry, or the four I just mentioned. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. So if you're gonna go priority order of getting your SSR pluses, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Okay. All right. So that's the order, and then from there, obviously, if you get other SSR pluses, it's a bonus. Now let's go to the light factions. The best light faction unit in the game right now is going to be Wagnon right here. And he is there for a reason. Number 1, he's going to be your main DPS. Number 2, he performs incredibly in front and back lines because he has immortality, or sorry, not a revival. So he's revived after 5 seconds with his max HP. Incredible unit. Ton of DPS, ton of utility, and will not steer you wrong. So I'm actually looking to replace my hats with him. I just haven't had a chance to pull him yet. So that's going to be probably your best unit for light teams. Dark teams, you've got a couple choices here. Okay, so you can go with Kun here, the strategist, right? He's actually a really good CC and debuffer. Great damage as well too, and can control the battlefield really well, and also increases the attack of purple element allies at the start of the battle. So if you're running a heavy purple team, he's going to do really well. Rachel's actually pretty damn good as well too, right? As a DPS, so she does a lot of defense down. And then not to mention, defense up. And not to mention, she also shares defense with the highest, she shares a defensive increase by 40% with the link is active, with the highest defense in the team. So usually your tank. So if you're running a Karaka or a Rack or Rose, like she's going to be fantastic because she's really hard to kill and she does pretty good DPS. So those two I'd say are the best dark units. Just honorable mention here. Ghost is pretty good as a tank for a magic tank, especially if you're fighting a heavy magic team. He's actually really good for that and can help provoke nearby enemies, and actually has magic resistance quite a bit in most of his kit. So pretty damn good unit there if you need a tank. And also, just real quick here, Anak is also a really good DPS. So don't sleep on her if you get her. I know she looks a little weird, but she's actually a really good DPS. Especially this right here. Anak ignores damage that is 50% or below her max HP once. Every 6 seconds, for 6 seconds, it's cooldown 6 seconds. It's really good, like super good. So very good unit as well too. So that'll be start of the red team though. Okay, so the red team, she's probably your main go-to. I'd say Michael's also pretty good. Michael's actually a really good with paralyze and his damage and his toxins, and not to mention his poisons. He's actually a pretty good dot DPS. So using Michael and I say Anak would be your 2 best red units, right? And you do get a copy of Hansong Yu here as well too in the beginning. He's actually still pretty good. He holds his own pretty well. So I would say Anak first, and then Michael second, and then Hansong Yu probably third. Those will probably be my so far that I've enjoyed using. Blue elements. So pretty straightforward on this one. Gamer Kun Hatsling is probably the best one. One of the best DPSs in the game, one of the best damage dealers in the game. So I would say there is nobody really in this playing field here that stands a chance against him from the blue team. So I would definitely choose him over anybody else. And for the green team, honestly, I like Loziel. If you don't have Evan, she's a really good backup. I actually like Mule Love because of his uniqueness, but he's not the best out there. And then Miseng Yo is not bad either, right? So if you're looking for a pretty decent DPS warrior, she's actually pretty good. I actually enjoy using her. I've used her on my other account. I've got 2 accounts running just for pull. So those are probably the best units. I probably go. You do get her in the beginning, so Red Rose, Hayuri, so you can get her duped up to 3 right away. So she'll actually put in a lot of work for you if you're not running a heavy light team, which is the best team in my opinion in the game. But if you were going to go green, I'd say her, Loziel. I love Mule personally. Miseng Yu is not bad, and then, of course, if you have Data Zahard, he'd be the best one on the team, right? But we're talking about SSRs. So that's my list there. Let me know in the comment section, guys, if you have any difference in opinions. I'm curious to know because I have not had a chance to test every unit out, but the ones I have been testing so far, I've really enjoyed. I put pretty good compositions together for teams, and I'll be able to clear content to 8-1 now on my free-to-play on day 5. Now I want to talk about SRs. A lot of people are ignoring SRs, and I noticed this because obviously they're not the cool units. They're very easy to dupe though, right? So when you get SRs, the reason why you want to use them, guys, is going to be right here inside your trial area, okay? You're going to eventually hit this point where you're going to have elemental trials. And I'm telling you, if you're free to play, especially if you're not whaling, you're going to need these units to get through some of this content because, as you can see here, most of your team will not be comprised of SSRs, right? They're going to be comprised mostly of SRs and one SSR here and there. Like you can see mine right here. So they've got pretty good ones here. Like we've got tanks, we've got assassins. So Super Dude is actually a pretty decent tank. He's not bad. I've been using him a lot for these runs. Serena's not bad. And I've been using Ho is not bad. The only two SSRs I have are these two here, right? The free tank that we just got, which is Horian Kang. And then I've got Blairod. Sorry, Blairod. So those are the two I've been using right now for my team, right? So just real quick, so you guys can see, look at the difference in power, right? You're gonna need these SRs in the beginning to level up. Like you're gonna have to dupe them. You're gonna have to use them because when you do trial events, the main thing you're going for is two things: green books, some gold, or a coin, and you're also going to go for these SSR stones based on the element that you're on. The first 10 towers give you a guaranteed SSR based on the element that you finish. But every other 10 floors, you're going to get yourself 5. I believe it's every 5 actually. It's 5 on 15 and then 5 on 20. So it's going to take you a lot longer going forward to get these, but they're crucial for your progress in the game, especially if you're going to be free to play. You want to collect these as much as you possibly can. So these trials are going to be a key part of your game, and SRs are going to play a key role until you can finally maximize your roster with SSRs minimum that can actually help you complete content. So there you guys have it. That's the purpose of SRs. Don't slouch. Let's go ahead and do some summons, see what we get here. I'm actually going to get an SSR here. I'm going to switch hats over. I wanted to do this a while ago. I haven't had a chance to though. So let's switch him here and then put him in first, put hats next, and let's go ahead and summon, okay? So I'm actually going to put more copies of bomb in here as well. There we go. Okay. All right, so I've got 3 multis. Let's see what happens. See what happens. All right, I've had some decent luck the last 2 days. When I started my account, it was complete garbage. Like I've had nothing going for me. I had Evan, and then I finally hit my pity and got Evan Kale, but that's how long it took to get my next really good unit. Come on, let's go. Okay. Come on, turn yellow, turn yellow. Yes, okay. Through the void? Through the tower? No, okay. So that's okay. There we go, boys and girls. We got him. Perfect. Now to dupe. Now to dupe. All right. Forever prepping Wanyanja. Let's go. Okay, we got our SRs. A couple more dupes here. Again, they'll be used to be in the towers, right? That's the main thing for them. I'm so excited to have got him. I'm hoping he helps me advance even further because Hats has been dying quite a bit. I'm going to get a dupe for him here. Let's get a dupe for him here. Perfect. There's my second dupe. Or my first dupe, I should say, sorry. So we'll skip that. Perfect. Let's go ahead and summon again. So we get another copy here. Okay. Okay, so this might just be SRs. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Yeah, just SRs. Okay, that's all right. Let's skip this real quick. Okay, a couple rares, a couple SRs. Not too shabby. Soul crystals at least are being obtained, so that's important. We're halfway, a little over halfway now to our next pity for our SSR plus. I might start saving, to be honest, soon, because when a new banner comes out, I want to be able to at least have enough to pull on it. Another SR. Okay. Another thing to point out real quick, the beauty of using SRs as well in trial areas, you can build their proficiency, right? And with more proficiency, you get yourself more suspendium. So important, guys, to note that as well too. Do try to switch them around once in a while to build your proficiency on your SRs, because there's a lot of them in the game, and the last thing you want to do is be stuck not having access to their proficiencies and having to use books to level them up because the levels are too high up now and you can't beat it, right? So just remember that. Do swap here and there. Like I said, there's a lot of decent ones out there that will do a lot of work for you, so it doesn't hurt to get the proficiency up at the same time and save yourself some suspendium. All right, guys, this is Payne. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching and supporting. If you have any comments, please let me know in the comment section. Like, subscribe. and we're going to be doing more of this content. Take care, guys. Talk to you soon.